Well, will they riot? Will they burn the town down as darkness falls? Will they burn the town down? We'll know very soon. Chris Evans returning to the MCU. Right again. I'm right again. When does it stop? I know why these motherfuckers can't stand me because I'm right all the time and it drives them fucking nuts. Drives them nuts. Right about everything, big and small. Doesn't matter what it is. I'm right. You're wrong. Will they riot at the Burger King? Don't burn the Burger King down. It's good. Why don't they just work on getting the prices down, you know? Why don't they work on fixing all this mess they cause and stop? You can't just give everybody money. That's not gonna fix it. I mean, yeah, that's I ain't gonna turn it down if they send it because I'm not retarded. But remember these retards during COVID? Well, if that's gonna cause inflation, why don't you took your check too? You took your yeah, no shit I did, you fucking fag. Nah, I'm gonna be the only retard. It's like, nah, I'm not gonna take it. Fucking idiot. You give me anything, I'm taking it. I don't give a fuck. It's $5. I'm taking it. Fucking poor idiot. Yeah, his family want to sue motherfuckers. That's why his family pretend to be upset. It's a clown show. I knew that guy was going to be acquitted, though. Didn't talk about it much, but because I mean, the evidence was clear. I mean, the evidence. This guy was on the subway screaming that by threatening to kill him, and then this guy, like, this is you could expect more of this stuff. By the way, this is what happens when you defund the police and you don't let the police do their job. Now, if the police were doing their job, this motherfucker wouldn't even have been on the subway to get killed anyway. He'd have been in fucking jail. Been arrested like 40 fucking times. Look, there should be a limit to how many times you can be fucking arrested, okay? Like, it's one thing to, you got caught stealing some stuff at the store or whatever. All right, give you a little slap on the wrist. Don't do that again. Da 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 da. Maybe you pay a fine or something. But if you do it again and again and again and again and again, I mean, at what point do we just put your fucking ass in a prison cell forever? How many times you need to be told not to do it? And when it comes to things like raping and killing, just shoot the son of a bitch dead. Just kill him. Just be done with it. I mean, it's insane to let people like that back out on the streets. That's insane. Pedophiles, I've long documented on this channel the pedophiles getting out of prison after a few months or a few years. It's insane to think about. You can rape a little child and they don't just put a bullet in you. Now, I feel like 50, 60, 70 some years ago, they would have just shot your ass dead. The townspeople would have strung you up, hung you from a tree somewhere, and been done with you if they caught you fucking with little girls, little boys, or something. Like if you would have raped some dude's daughter back in the day, you don't need to be worried about the cops. People have become soft, really. People used to be tough as nails. And so when you raped their fucking daughter, you didn't get to go. There was no need to go to the police. Them and their friends and the townspeople decided to get together and just fucking go to your house and pull you out of it, kill you. Now, that can be bad because maybe you're innocent. Maybe it's a false allegation and you've been murdered. So we can't have a society like that, but that's the society you'll live in if you don't have police. And police aren't perfect, but being falsely accused by the police and having to go to court and all that is a hell of a lot better than being falsely accused by an angry mob who hangs you from a tree. No trial, no nothing. They've just decided they believe the allegations and you're done. You're out of here. By the way, how dumb are the liberals with this CEO? They found the guy who executed the CEO, um, and some of these tweets I was reading earlier, these liberals are unhinged, man. They're unhinged. They were like, if you defended Kyle Rittenhouse, how can you not defend this guy who killed the CEO? Like, it's obviously different. It's so funny. Like, these people are so funny. I've argued with so many of them, and I've paid so much attention to these people that it's just like, man, I think I see it a lot differently than the rest of you. I think I see them way differently than everybody else. It's just so funny. Like, they're so weird. Like, and how do you not vice versa that? Okay, well, you hated Kyle Rittenhouse, but you love this guy. Like, what the fuck? Kyle Rittenhouse was under attack by a convicted child molester trying to get him. He was underage, 17. So, I mean, if you're willing to defend executing a CEO of a healthcare company, why are you not defending executing a convicted pedophile who was actively trying to assault a teenager? And he was rioting as well. Like, it doesn't make any sense. You're the people that don't make any sense, not me. I can explain my reasoning for supporting one and not the other very easily. One's cold blooded murder, and one is self defense against a literal lunatic, documented lunatic. He was actively rioting. He was in a mental institution. He raped a 9-year-old boy in the ass. He had just got out of mental institution. He was on video displaying unhinged behavior at the time. It's well documented. He's nuts. And it's on video, this guy chasing Kyle Rittenhouse through the night. It's all fucking on video. So you see the guy actively pursuing Kyle Rittenhouse. Kyle Rittenhouse had no choice but to shoot the guy. I mean, the guy's unhinged. He's trying to get him. What are you going to do? What would you do? I'd have shot the son of a bitch too. You know how crazy you got to be chasing a guy down that's got an AR-15 and you're unarmed? You understand the type of lunatic you got to be to just be like, fuck it, I'm going to charge after this guy that's got a fucking AR-15. That right there tells me he's fucking insane. And you don't want a guy like that getting a hold of you because you're pointing a gun at him and he's still coming. The last thing you want is that guy to get his hands on you. You got to shoot that son of a bitch. He's literally charging at you while you're pointing a gun at him going, stop! Stop! And he's just like, fuck it, charge at you. You got to shoot. You got to shoot. But liberals are saying it's the same thing. It's vigilanteism or whatever. This is not vigilanteism. That Kyle Rittenhouse was not a vigilante. I mean, what are you people talking about? What we saw I mean, that wasn't even vigilante. What the CEO? That was just cold blooded murder. There's no vigilante. Like what the things these people are talking about is insane to me. This guy's a vigilante. I thought you liked guys like that. Like, first of all, who said that? Second of all, how is this guy? So anyone that just murders a motherfucker for any reason suddenly is a vigilante? Fuck y'all talking about? It's a fucking murderer who's probably insane. He's a fucking he's from some Ivy League school. His fucking parents are loaded. His parents got more money than that fucking CEO did. It's a very weird thing. Very strange fucking thing. But he's insane. He's insane and he's on the internet caught up in this rhetoric, this socialist horseshit rhetoric that he's anti-capitalist and all this stuff. I don't even know why people are surprised by this. I mean, look at the reaction to it. Look at the reaction to them murder that. Read these people's tweets. I've been telling you for years that these people are nuts because I've been reading their tweets and listening to them talk for years. That's not even shocking to me. That video ain't even shocking to me. I wasn't even shocked. It's inevitable. They're nuts. Expect more of this type of shit. Expect more of these lunatic liberals to just be unhinged and try to kill people. Hell, they tried to kill Trump twice. People are unhinged and they're caught up in the narrative about fascism and all this horse shit, anti-capitalist fucking. This guy owes his whole life to capitalism. He's a fucking in college, all this shit. Owes his whole fucking life to it. His family's loaded. I'm telling you, man, it's always the most privileged motherfuckers. If you notice, the most privileged rich cocksuckers seem to hate capitalism. It's so funny. All these college educated kids who are they're not starving to death. They're not poor. See, poor people really understand this a lot better than these so-called smart. But that's what I mean. Like people that go to college are some of the dumbest motherfuckers because they think they're intelligent because they learned some shit. They went and got taught some classes and learned a particular subject, and they know a lot about that topic, but they don't really know much about anything else. But they're arrogant because, well, I got a degree. Well, that just means what's your degree in? I mean, if we're talking about something you got a degree in, maybe your opinion means something. But if it doesn't, you ain't got no degree in that. You're like your degree is in like you're a doctor, but that don't mean you know anything about politics. That don't mean you ain't know anything about the Constitution and the way the government works or any of these other things. You're just a doctor. And liberals are some of the dumbest motherfuckers too because they buy into this. They're like, well, that motherfucker's got a degree. That don't make him smart. Intelligent is not being intelligent is not based off having degrees. Don't you idiots realize that? There are tests you take to determine your IQ. It's got nothing to do with going to goddamn anyone can take an IQ test. Going to college and taking college courses isn't going to help you do better on the IQ test because that's not what IQ is. Wake up, people. Some of the smartest people don't even go to college. Why? Because it's a waste of time. And when you're actually intelligent, you realize time is really all you have, and you're going to die anyway. Like you're having deep thoughts. You're thinking about what's the point of all this. You're not even really that worried about goddamn the future or anything, really. I mean, fuck, you're just gonna die anyway. What is the point of all this? I can go to college, I can become a fancy doctor or a lawyer or whatever, but who cares, really? It's gonna die anyway. Intelligent people are thinking about deep shit, thinking about shit that you can't learn in a classroom. Go listen to like really smart people that have taken these IQ tests and scored these insane numbers. Go listen to them actually talk about shit. Go listen to stuff they're talking about your stupid ass fucking medical degree or whatever the fuck you got that you brag and you show off to everybody, think you're smart. You're not smart. If COVID didn't teach you anything, it should have taught you that these people ain't smart just because they have degrees and PhDs and all this shit. They're actually some of the dumbest, most gullible fucking people among us. You ain't figured that out yet? And they're all cheating in college anyway. They're all cheating on everything. They got the AI answering a question. They got all kinds of shit they're doing. A lot of these people coming out of these colleges these days ain't even, it ain't like back in the day. They got the internet and shit. They got the answers right there. Not like back in the fucking day we had to go down to the library and open up an encyclopedia or some shit, or open up the dictionary and you had to do all this. You say, hey, Chat GPT, tell me the answers. Tell me the answers, Chat GPT. Matter of fact, write me an essay up. Write me a nice essay up. Ain't even doing anything. And look at these people that come out of college are indoctrinated to the left. Which I hate to break it to you, but if you're a leftist, you are retarded. You're dumb. This ain't up for debate anymore. You're dumb. You've proven it. All these ideas y'all push, I mean, it's all bullshit. It's all terrible shit that's not gonna work. It sounds good. It sounds good when you hear it, but when you actually start really thinking about it and looking into it, researching it, it doesn't work. It's actually a terrible fucking idea that actually make the liberals have all these ideas. They sound good, but if they were put into practice, they'd make things even worse. People hate the right wing people because they tell them the truth. They tell them the harsh, cold reality. It's like pull yourself up by your bootstraps, and they hate hearing that shit. Oh, that doesn't work. That's actually the best advice you can get. Most of the time, 9 times out of 10, you're going to have to figure it out your fucking self. Especially if you're counting on the government to solve the problem. I mean, man, maybe you have a friend that can help you, this and that, family member, something. But if you're thinking the government's going to swoop in, save the day, god damn, you're in for a world of hurt. Government ain't swooping in and saving shit. Government ain't gonna do shit to make it better for you. Let's believe that. And that's why these people are super dumb because they think, first of all, most of the time, nobody's going to come and save you. Nobody's coming. You're fucked. You're on your own. But they think Joe Biden's going to come in and save them or something. Good. You need to be censored. You're out of control. Lay down. Go lay the fuck down. Go lay down. We're censoring you motherfuckers. We've had enough. Putting you motherfuckers on notice. You're getting censored. That's what you deserve. It's what you fucking deserve, boy. Brother. Liberals are going to get more unhinged, and it's going to be hilarious and kind of it's going to get scary though because they're insane. Also, some guy was on Twitter the other day. He said nobody wants to watch women stand around on a football field and talk about football. And he's right. He's right. Why is it such what is the problem here? What is the issue here? Like my God. Can we stop acting dumb all the time? Can we stop playing pretend about everything? Can we stop pretending that the target audience for the NFL is women? Can we just fucking stop? Can we stop feeling like we have to include a woman in everything? By the way, don't gotta include men in everything either. Some things are just for women. Women have some shows. You don't have to force a fucking. I mean, enough. Enough of this shit. Sick of seeing it every day. Sick of the nonsense. Just because the men are doing something, don't mean the women got to be included in it. Women need to get over themselves, quite frankly. They really need to get over themselves. Good Lord. You see it in everything. In WWE, you see it in UFC, you see it in everything. Get over yourselves. The men got to do it. Why don't the women get to do it? The women deserve a chance too. Then earn it. Earn it. I mean, literally every year, look at the Survivor Series. Every year, the men's war game match makes total fucking sense. There's a story behind it all. There's two legitimate teams doing battle. It makes sense. Women's is just let's throw these women together. What are they even fighting about? What is even going on? No, nobody knows. They don't even have any female groups. 5 female groups. How about you have a War Games match when you need to have one? When it actually makes sense to have one. And if it doesn't make any sense, then don't fucking do it. You don't have to have a copycat woman's match for everything. You really don't. It's so forced and so dumb and so obvious, and nobody likes it. Women don't even actually like it. Nobody likes it. And I know some women watch football, but for the most part, most women don't watch it. It's just a very strange thing to have three women standing around talking about football. Doesn't even make sense, really, if you think about it. Why isn't it? Why wouldn't it be former players standing around talking about the game? What I mean, well, ain't that? Don't they got a better understanding of it? They play it. Why the fuck do I need three? I mean, three. I can see having a woman there, kind of being in the middle of everything. She's pretty, whatever. That makes sense. But when the whole panel's women talking about the game coming up, it don't make sense. It don't make no fucking sense. Just stop. See there, it's overkill. Before it was like, all right, we're gonna have a woman. She's gonna be the host, and she'll say, hey, back to you, and she'll do that type of shit. But then when we start really talking about the game and talking about what's gonna happen, we got a panel of men. We got former players here, former coaches. They're gonna break it down, give us their analysis. Why do I want an analysis from a woman who's never played football? They don't play in the NFL. What the fuck? Why would I want their analysis? Don't these networks realize how I don't even watch football? It's dumb. It's dumb. It's like the WNBA. Nobody watches it. Nobody cares. If the NBA was like, look, we're just not funding it anymore. It doesn't even make money. It's silly. It's silly, really. Nobody cares. Oh, there'd be a bunch of crying and all this. Women, because women won't get over themselves. You know who would cry more than anyone though? Beta male men trying to get laid. There's so many men out there, and that's why a lot of this stuff goes on. By the way, that's why there's three women on the field because there's all these men desperate to get laid, and they think that if they defend this stuff, the women will like them. No, because guess what? Women don't even actually give a shit. Most women don't even care about the panel on the NFL game because they don't watch it. Nobody gives a fuck. But these loud ass and there's a few women that pretend to care, and then there's a bunch of loud, retarded, horny men who go, "Oh yeah, 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 this is sexist. This is terrible." Make a big fuss about it, thinking, "Oh, this will make women want me." No, actually, it won't. Acting like a girl is never going to get you laid. Don't you realize that? You haven't figured that out yet, huh? Acting like a woman is not attractive to a woman. Imagine that. Not the type of woman you want. Type of woman you're trying to find ain't attracted to that. You know what they're attracted to? Toxic masculinity. You know what really gets a woman off? Toxic masculinity. That's the secret. All that toxic masculinity they talk about. Look at the porn women watch. They've done studies on it. It's all rough, fucking insane, crazy shit. That's what they're into. All that insanity. They like toxic masculinity. All that virtue signaling, all that pretending like you want the women on the NFL and all that. It's all a waste of time. Doing all of that's a waste of time. And you're just ruining everything for nothing. Because no woman on the planet cares. No woman on the planet is going to suck your dick. In fact, the type of women that you're white knighting and stuff, they'd never touch you. They would never touch you. Certainly ain't sucking your dick, bro. Ain't no way in hell they'd be anywhere near your dick, you weird motherfucker. Women don't want you to agree with them all the time either. They want to argue. It's in their nature. They can deny it all they want. Women like to argue. It is in their nature. It is just something they enjoy. They like to start little arguments here and there. They don't want to have an all out, just, oh my God, let's break up. They want to have a little bit of an argument. Something not too crazy that they could easily just apologize for later and it's all fine because it wasn't that big of a deal. It was just kind of an annoying argument that you don't quite understand why you had, but it was just to amuse them. And truth be told, they want you to tell them to go fuck off. They want you to say, shut up. They want it. They want you to be a man. They'll figure it out someday. They want you to say, yeah, it's silly having these women on the NFL. That's so dumb. That's what they want to hear. Because at least it ain't at least you're not just saying what they want to hear so you can get in their pants. Think they don't, you think they ain't figured that out? You think they don't notice that? You're just saying what they want to hear. You're saying all the right thing. You're agreeing with everything they say. What kind of man agrees with everything a woman says? It's insane. You know how rational women are sometimes? Sometimes they don't even make sense. They're all over the damn place. Sometimes you gotta go, hey, we ain't doing that. That's a dumb. Don't even make sense. I think they act like that sometimes just to test you, just to see if you'll go, hey, look, it's stupid. What a dumb suggestion. Paul Heyman has been involved in the wrestling business. I mean, knock it off. Knock it off. There's more to the wrestling business than just the wrestling. You goof. You fucking goof. Wrestling is a lot different. And I'm not against a female announcer, but when you got three of them standing there on the field talking about the game coming up, giving their predictions, it's silly. It's just silly. It's a silly image, a silly thing. It doesn't make any sense. Time to stop living a fantasy. It's time to stop being retarded. 2025 is a year to stop being retarded. It's a year to get it together. Losing the election should have taught y'all something. It should have taught you that y'all are retarded and the shit you say is retarded and you need to get it together with this bullshit. Isn't it time to stop with the nonsense? To stop this denying reality? Can't even bring yourself to say, yeah, it's a little silly to have three women standing there analyzing the game. It's kind of silly. We're not talking about a woman interviewing the guy after the game, holding the mic or whatever. They're sitting there giving their analysis. Three of them. And if you don't think that doesn't turn off some viewers, you got to care about your audience. You got to say, well, They don't want this. What does the audience want? Maybe stop spitting in the face of the people that watch the shit. If they're telling you, hey man, that's what all these women like fucking calling the game and I'm like, what is going on? If the audience ain't into it, don't like it, get rid of it. Because it's all forced. That's why people don't like it. It's not that these women earned it and they know what they're talking about and they're actual fans and everything. No, no, it's just done to force it on you, to force an agenda. When are you going to realize that as long as you're forcing the agenda, no one's going to like it? When are you going to realize that everybody around you knows? Everyone knows that you're forcing this. Everyone can see it. Everyone sees it now. Why do you keep playing stupid like nobody can tell? That's the funniest part is watching you guys pretend like nobody knows. Everybody's just a fucking retard and doesn't realize that you're forcing this shit down everybody's throat. Just like in the MCU stuff. It didn't work there. It never works. Remember, it's never worked and it never will. When you force it, it always fails. It's failed in every movie, every television show. It failed in the election. It has been tried over and over and over, and it always fails. And it does great damage to the party, to the movie studio, to the whatever the fuck it is. It just gets on people's nerves. I don't know how I feel about a female president. I haven't really thought about it. Nikki Haley, of course not. Why? When have I ever expressed any interest in Nikki Haley? That's just retarded. To even what the fuck? Do y'all watch this shit or not? Like, do you even listen? Even watch this shit? I'm not worried about a female president. I want the best possible candidate I can get. So, I'm not voting based on gender or race or because I'm not a child. I'm not a little kid. I'm a grown ass man. So I don't vote based on things like that. I'm not saying we need to get a woman in there and make history. That's childish. To me, that's a childish way of thinking about things. And when you say things like that, you show me that you have the intelligence level of a 7-year-old girl. And this is all about making history and it's so cool. No, I live in this country and that's not we shouldn't elect our leader like that. We shouldn't be looking to check a box. We're just talking about the person that's going to lead our country for 4 years. It's not a game. It's not something you play a game with and you say, "Oh my god, it's got to be a black woman. It's got to be a transgender. We got to do check boxes." No. No. They got to be super nice or they got to be this or they got to no. Need a good leader. Now you got to look at your options, and eventually it gets down to two options, and then you got to go with the better option of the two, and that's what you do. And you certainly wouldn't get down to those two and go, well, one of them's a woman, and I want to make history. Man, that's fucking retarded. You don't understand how retarded you are if you think like that. I'm here to tell you, if you think like that, you are a retard. You're dumb as fuck. By the way, somebody left a comment. They said, I I don't like the name calling. I'm out of here. Hey, bitch. Head on out, bitch. Head the fuck on out, dumb bitch. Nobody gives a fuck what you like. When you gonna realize that? Nobody gives two fucks about what you like. What makes you feel good? Fuck you. Who are you? We're supposed to we're supposed to think about your feelings and you somebody we nobody even knows. Supposed to think about it. No, there needs to be some name calling. You're retarded. Well, I can understand why a lot of men won't vote for a woman. Makes total sense to me. First of all, we've never had a female candidate worth voting for, number one. Not been a single female candidate worth voting for, in my opinion. And as a man, why would you vote for a woman? To be your leader. Like, it just, it just doesn't make any sense. Sorry to break reality to you, but it doesn't make much sense as a man to vote for a woman president. Because that's my leader. That's who I got to send to talk to Putin and all that. Like, I'm going to send Kamala Harris. Fuck no, I'm not. Hell no. Like, I need a fucking leader that's, some people are going to take serious, who don't play no games, who's got some energy behind him. That's Trump. Trump was an easy decision to support in all these elections because it just, I mean, Hillary Clinton, give me a break. Joe Biden, all these candidates suck. If you voted for any of them, you're retarded. Here to tell you, you're retarded. Tulsi Gabbard's all right, but at the same time, like, I don't need to vote for her because she's a woman. Like, I don't see why. I'm not looking to go, man, we got to run a woman next time. That's what we got to do. Like, what? Who thinks like that? That's going to be JD Vance. It's going to be JD Vance in 2028, and I suspect he'll win. I'm pretty confident he wins that election. Unless Trump is just a royal fuck up for the next 4 years. And in that case, JD Vance is fucked. Political career over. JD Vance's future really, the next 4 years matter. Because if it's a very successful 4 years, JD Vance wins easily. Not even a challenge. Especially when you nerds are talking about running Pete butt plug. I mean, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Run a gay dude. Go ahead. Go ahead and run a gay man. And listen. You can sit there and you can say, oh, that's homophobic. Blah, blah, blah. If you want to keep losing elections, keep on with that bullshit. Keep on talking that bullshit. It's not a winning strategy calling everybody homophobic. You run Pete Buttigieg, and then somebody says, I'm not voting for a gay man. And you go, well, that's homophobic. You're a bigot, and you attack them. Why would that? Do you think that's going to make them like change their mind and vote for the gay dude? Of course not. They're going to be like, hey, go fuck yourself. I'm definitely not voting for him now. Do you think being insufferable and annoying is the way to win votes? Like if some dude says, I'm not voting for a woman, period. Guess what? Let me tell you how to handle that situation. You ready? Say, all right, man, well, that's your opinion, I guess, and move on. This is a guy that's told you straight up, I ain't voting for a woman. So if you want my vote, you better run a man, first of all, because I ain't voting for no fucking woman. All right, so if you run a woman, now we're talking straight political strategy here. Like I said, you can act like a child or you can act like a grown ass man. This is all about winning an election. You want to win or not? Do you want to win or not? A simple question. Well, if you want to win, then the first thing you got to do is you got to quit bullshitting yourself. Until you stop bullshitting yourself, you ain't ever going to get nowhere. You're still BSing yourself. You said that, well, people won't vote for a woman. Okay, then stop running women. It's an easy solution. Stop. Do not run another woman for a while. Clearly, the public is not ready to elect a woman. Take the hint and stop running women. Instead of, oh, I'm going to chastise the public and I'm going to talk shit. I'm going to fuck. That's not going to work. You're going to have to run an exceptional woman and you don't have one. So stop. Stop. You don't have an exceptional woman. Name them. Name an exceptional woman that is going to run for president. Name them. That people are actually going to trust. They're going to sit there with Vladimir Putin and shit. A woman that's going to be able to really make sense in an interview. At least Trump be talking some shit that makes sense. Like, whether it works or not, we won't know until it happens. But at least he sounds like he knows what the fuck he's talking about. He's like, I'm going to put a 25% tariff on China. That's better than going, well, I come from a middle class family and I know how hard it is to put food on the table. And that, no, you don't. No, you don't, because when your mother was trying to put food on the table, shit wasn't as expensive as it is now, you dumb bitch. Don't know nothing about anything. You don't know nothing. I got a phone call. Uh, what is Fortnite coming out with? A Lego world? What the fuck? I got pissed. Starving. I'm having a bruschetta. You ever had a freshetta? Freshetta? Have you had a freshetta pizza? Frozen pizza, freshetta. I got one. You ever had one of these freshetta? Thin crust. Premium pepperoni on that bitch. Freshetta. Are light and airy crust bakes to a golden brown to deliver the perfect level crispiness. Made from scratch, kitchen fresh pizza. Huh. Like thin crust. It's normally a $7 pizza. It's on sale right now for $3.99 for cheddar. What about brick oven crust? You like the brick oven? You a fan of the brick oven, boy? You like a good brick oven? It's Marshall. Red Baron's weren't on sale. I thought Freshetta's pretty good. Stop. I had it the other night and it was kind of cold. And it was fucking good. It's got to be good, warm, hot, whatever. What's the point?
What should I do?
Save a man.
What the fuck is going on? Dude, Twitter's out of control. Twitter is out of control. I can't even show this on the screen. I'm going to put this in the Discord so y'all can see what I'm talking about. Look at the Discord. Look at this tweet. Twitter is out of fucking control. It's out of control. Look at this shit. Look at all this shit. Look at this. I mean, white supremacist people. I'm talking about real white supremacist people are going wild over this verdict. I mean, these tweets are insane. These tweets are insane. See, Wes, your thoughts on these unhinged tweets. We need black people's opinion on these unhinged tweets. Look at this one. Look at this one. You got to go to fucking. You got to go to Discord. I can't even show it to you. I can't even show it to you on the screen. They'll ban this fucking channel. They'll ban this channel, and everyone in this fucking chat will be banned just for seeing it. I think that's it. I think it calmed down. I think they finally calmed down. What is this? Look at this! Oh my god! What is this? I mean, people are unhinged on here. Jesus Christ. Somebody made an AI picture of Hulk Hogan got Martin Luther King in a fucking chokehold. This is madness. That's the end of it. That's the end of the tweets. T West, your thoughts on these unhinged tweets?
Just like everybody else has vigilantes, we need some black vigilantes.
That's right.
People want to jump up and choke us and kill us for being loud. How about we do the same when they attempt to oppress us?
Right.
I'm tired.
Tired.
I know you're looking for us to be like, oh, go and march. Go and march. No. This weekend, I want you to hold a community event everywhere from the Bronx to Houston to Seattle to Florida. Black people hold community events and talk about what you need. Just like everybody else has vigilantes,
We need some vigilantes. Are they gonna riot tonight? Are they gonna riot? By the way, Joe Biden, and I mean, what is even going on with this? Listen to this.
She's an educator. In her first trip with Secretary Holland, she visited the language immersion program of the Cherokee Nation in Oklahoma. Jill saw Native children light up, as they recited words their ancestors once spoke. Over 3/4 of the remaining native languages are in danger of being lost forever. That's why today my administration is moving ahead on a 10-year plan to revive native languages in a serious effort.
But why? But why? Who cares?
It's a vision that works with tribes and support teachers, schools, communities, organizations in order to save native language from disappearing. This matters.
It doesn't,
It's part of
though.
our heritage. It's part of who we are as a nation.
Oh, bro.
It's how we got to be who we are. She's an educator. In her first trip.
Oh, my God. See, that's what Joe Biden's worried about. Native languages, saving native languages. Who cares about native languages? God, where's that one woman's tweet? So unhinged. So fucking unhinged. How is Kamala Harris even considered for the Times Person of the fucking Year, by the way? Didn't do a fucking thing but lose. Thought I saved the unhinged tweet, but I guess I didn't. Perhaps I didn't. Perhaps I didn't. Just find it on there. It's all over Twitter. It's probably on Blue Sky. Go to Blue Sky. I bet there's so many unhinged posts on there about this shit. People just think it's funny. People think it's funny. People love it. People fucking love it.
I do believe in the sanctity of life. And I think that's why I felt, along with so many other Americans, joy, unfortunately, because it
Joy?
feels like.
Serious?
I mean,
joy
I
at a
guess I would
man's
say
execution?
maybe not joy, but certainly not empathy. Because again,
We're
this is a
watching
man
the footage.
responsible for
How can
death.
this make you joyful? This guy's a
So
husband,
here,
he's a father,
billions,
and he's being
and
gunned
so
down in the middle of Manhattan.
so are
Why
the
does that
tens
make
of
you
thousands
joyful?
of Americans that be murdered. So are the tens of thousands of Americans, innocent Americans, who died because greedy health insurance executives like this one push policies of denying care to the most vulnerable people. And the many millions of Americans that have watched people that I care about suffer and in some cases die because of lack of health
So
care.
should they all be killed then? Should they all be killed, these healthcare executives? Would that make you even more joyful?
No, that would not.
Well, why not?
And
why are you laughing?
I think because it wouldn't fix the
You seem
system.
to find the whole thing hilarious.
I find your question funny.
A bloke's been murdered in the street. I don't find it funny at all.
I don't find it funny that tens of thousands of Americans die every year and because they are denied life-saving healthcare from people like the CEO. Now, I want to fix the system. You're right. We shouldn't be going around shooting each other with vigilante justice. No. I think that it is a good thing that this murder has led to America, or really the media elites and politicians in this country paying attention to this issue for the first time. You mentioned you couldn't understand why somebody would feel this reaction when they watched a CEO die. It's because you have not dealt, it sounds like, with the American healthcare system in the way that millions of other Americans have.
I've dealt with the healthcare system in various ways in America. I don't think it's perfect by any means, but the idea that I would view it as something.
Have you been denied life-saving?
Hang on. The idea that I would view it as something joyful that a man has been, who's just a healthcare executive, has been executed in the street, I find completely bizarre.
Don't make no fucking sense. Which is nuts. The bitch is nuts. Where can I hear more of Piers Morgan destroying her? Not fucking guilty. When's the rioting start? When?
These wonderful white people, I hope they celebrate their Christmas while the Neely family is praying and asking God for comfort. Goddamn them and goddamn America. These wonderful white people, I hope they celebrate their Christmas while the Neely family is praying and asking God for comfort. Goddamn them and goddamn America.
Yeah. Yeah. Because Trump is president already. This is what happens when you vote for an incompetent, dying old man. And then 4 years later, he's even worse. His mental decline is to a point where the world leaders are just, and they know he's about to leave. The grown-ups are back. That's the best way I can put it. Grown-ups are back in charge, and things are going to get done the way they need to get done now. And world leaders aren't wasting their time trying to talk to Biden when they know that there's no point in talking to him and that Trump's the guy. And it's time to get business done. I told you when you lost, strap in. You're gonna have a rough time. Because here's what you don't realize. Nobody gives a fuck about any of that shit you're trying to do. It's not okay that he's over there playing prep. We don't care, brother. We don't give a fuck. We don't care. We wouldn't give a fuck if he went in there and drug Joe Biden's old ass out early and said, all right, we're starting early. We wouldn't give a fuck. We don't care. In fact, we welcome that. We want that to happen. Good, I say. Nobody cares anymore about the virtue signaling, fucking play by the rules, horseshit. We're not playing by the rules. You broke all the rules, so we're not playing by them no more. Sorry. The rules have changed. And that's your fault. Your fault as a man. I use that term loosely. It's going to be okay, though. Keep on bitching, though. We'll deport your ass along with the rest of them. The hush. Take your L with some dignity. Once in your life. God, this pizza is going to be delicious, I'm telling you. Bruschetta. 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 Also, a nice bruschetta. Your fault. You might want to get it together. You might want to seriously start thinking about tactics over the next 4 years. Because I'm telling you right now, and this is the last time I'm going to say it, the shit you all did the last 8 years is done with. Nobody cares about cries of racism, sexism. Oh, this isn't fair. The rules. What about the rules? Nobody gives two fucks about any of that. I'm just here to tell you now. We're going to laugh at you and clown you because we don't care anymore. You have pushed this country so far that it doesn't care anymore. Voting for Joe Biden, and I said this on election night 2020, I said this, biggest mistake you'll ever make in your life. Biggest mistake the Democrats will ever make. Will go down in history as the worst president. Will go down in history as you being dumb as fuck for voting for. You'll never be able to live it down. I said all this. You'll never be able to live it down. You'll be a laughing stock for the rest of your life because people will always go back to that and go, man, you voted for that. You voted for a guy that was like clearly on a mental decline due to old age, and you voted for it to be our fucking leader. You're retarded. And then he literally fucked the country up bad. Like, you can gaslight all you want. That doesn't work either. Fuck the country up bad. To the point where now people don't care. People are supporting mass deportations. People are supporting fucking, they don't care. They don't care about being called a racist anymore. Nobody cares about any of that. 8 years of it, of crying wolf and all that nonsense, backfired insanely. So the thing I would have already done this. I would have just stopped all of it. I would have stopped all that shit. I would have just stopped doing it. I would have realized it doesn't work and stopped. You motherfuckers tripled down on it. I encourage you not to riot over this because it's not going to go the way you think it is. It's not. It's not going to be like last time. You're not going to get to burn the city down and people are just going to chill and sit back and let you do it. Take my advice here. It's over. Realize you've been thoroughly defeated and you need to act like a defeated person and kind of back up a little bit or you're going to get slaughtered. You're really going to get slaughtered. There's a time when you got your ass beat so bad that you need to back off a little bit. And that's where you're at as a party, as a people. There's a time to stop. There's a time to just stop. The best thing Democrats could do for the next year is just stop. Give people a break from it. People need a break from your insanity and your nonsense. You were supposed to give them a break in 2020. See, that was a big mistake y'all made, where you beat Trump and then you kept on. You kept on with all the same bullshit. That was a time right then to go, all right, we beat Trump. Now let's go back. Just try to act normal again. Instead, you got even crazier. I don't even know how you got even crazier. Big mistake. Because a lot of people voted for Biden because they thought things were going to go back to normal. Remember, that was a big part of the Biden campaign. We're going back to normalcy. Well, that's not what we got. So your loss was inevitable. And nobody cares about the president-elect meeting with world leaders. I mean, grow up. Grow up. Please grow up. We beg you. We plead with you to grow up. Well, now what? After I eat, I gotta go somewhere. I'll be back. I'm gonna watch a movie. I don't even know who that is.
Let's bring in Paul Morrow, retired NYPD inspector and a Fox News contributor, and James R. Fitzgerald, retired FBI supervisory special agent and co-host of the Cold Red podcast. Great to have both of you with us today. Paul, let me start with you. Your thoughts on the latest developments in this case?
Well, let me say two things. First of all, kudos to that citizen who, off of that photo, which was not great, an above photo, that's always the case with these surveillance photos from video, remote video. They're at an angle where you don't get great shots. Off of that shot, this person looked at this person and said, you know what, this individual looks like who everybody's looking for. And when you couple that with the fact that the reporting was he's supposed to be in Atlanta, the fact that this person in Altoona made him is fairly amazing. The other thing I would just mention real quickly is, okay, that part is down, assuming this is him, and it's looking pretty good.
I didn't think he was
But
in
now
Atlanta.
something else begins, and there's the prosecution, there's the investigation, there's the discovery. The discovery laws in New York City these days, in New York State, are draconian on the prosecution. They got to gather a ton of stuff. You have the out-of-state issues here. They're going to have to gather all that. You got the extradition. So now it's another battle, and that's what the police are going to be concentrating on now as they go forward.
James Fitzgerald, let me bring you in, former FBI profiler. We are learning some bits and pieces about the person who is the suspect in this case. That is his status at this point. There are other outlets, including the New York Post, which is related, our sister publication, that is saying that he was a valedictorian at his high school, a private boys' school in the Baltimore area. Your thoughts on the profile of this young man?
Well, it's only a profile when it's an unknown subject. Once we have someone identified, now they're going to be doing a behavioral assessment. If the shooter has been deceased himself, they'd call it a psychological autopsy. But now they're going to do this behavioral assessment, this psychological assessment of just what made this person tick, what made him as mission-oriented as he was to have devoted 10 days, probably more, directly involved in the killing of Mr. Thompson of United Healthcare. So, they're going to try to find everything going back to his prep school days, his valedictorian days, any type of social media he was involved in, certainly the web searches he's conducted, and that's going to put a total picture of this person together. And this will be evidentiary that can be entered into, a trial at some point. Defense will always fight these things, but these types of issues that suggest motivation and rationale for doing this would certainly be important. Doesn't surprise me either that this guy was somehow a fan of the Unabomber, Ted Kaczynski, and he has his mini manifesto of 3 pages. We'll see if there's as much evidence in there as there was in the 56-page manifesto of the Unabomber, but I'm sure there'll be valuable evidence they can use against him in a court of law.
Yeah. Paul, what strikes me is, when I saw his face, and you can see it more clearly if we have the picture of him smiling at the woman who was, there he is, big smile on his face. And I thought when I saw this picture, Paul, that he's a young man, he's smiling in this photo. I thought anyone in his family, they know that that's him as soon as they see this photo. He went to, if these reports are correct, a prestigious prep school, that's all over social media. All of those people, his professors, they also, if they saw this picture, Paul, had to have been able to identify this young man. Do we know whether or not the investigators on this case had been reached out to by people who said, that's him? They couldn't tell where he was at that point, but they identified him.
Yeah, I mean, I have not heard that. That doesn't appear to be public. One of the things I would go back to relative to that question is the Boston Marathon bombing with the Tsarnaev brothers. We had a similar circumstance.
Exactly.
4 days, we were killing ourselves looking all over social media for who they were. And then we find out later, all his dorm mates knew that Joe Tsarnaev was probably that guy, but they couldn't believe it of him. Yeah. And everybody was afraid to accuse erroneously. So there is a little bit of a downward pressure on it. But I will say this. Think about the needle in a haystack work the PD did here. This guy comes into the city. He had a lot of planning. Apparently, according to some reporting that's out, he locked down his electronics. They're going to have a hard time getting into his phone, et cetera. But he took all these precautions. He came in. Apparently, he's surveilled. And yet they found him within a couple of days at that youth hostel, got that photo. That really is what broke this.
Yes.
So kudos to them. Kudos to this woman at the McDonald's, and kudos to the Altoona PD, who went out and took the call seriously. That would have been a very easy call to be a little dismissive of. They took her seriously. They went out. They eyeballed him. They see the eyebrows, which it's almost like, Koberger, the accused in Idaho. The eyebrows here are distinctive, and they put it together.
Yeah, no, it's extraordinary. We knew that he took a bus out of Upper Manhattan and that it stopped a number of places along the way, that the route was headed to Atlanta. So there was a big effort in Atlanta, but we also knew that it was making certain stops along the way.
Your eyebrows are going to give you away.
In Pennsylvania, if all of this police work adds up. So gentlemen, thank you very much. James Fitzgerald, Paul Morrow, great to see you both. Thank you for being here.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.
Well, I'll be back in a bit.